Alright, this is an RGB LED strip. Now, it is attached to another wooden stick just like the cathode was, and the LEDs are also attached with rubber bands just like the cathode was. Now, on the back of this you can see that there is sticky tape, so if I wanted to I could stick it on the wood, but I'm just using rubber bands because if I ever change my mind I could take them off this stick and use them for something else. Now, how is this powered and how does this thing work? Well, I will take it apart in a moment, but basically there is this RGB control box and you can use a remote to change the different colors. For instance, if I click R, it'll change all the LEDs to red. I can also make it green, or I can make it, say, blue. There's basically 3 LEDs. There's red, green, and blue. There's also different settings on the remote. You can make it fade. You can change the speed of the fade, so it does it very, very slowly. You can also make it flash on and off, and you can also change the speed of that as well. You can make it fade so it transitions into all the different colors instead of just going to one color and fading it off and then going into another color and fading that on and then turn that one off. With this option you'll get it so it fades all smoothly. Now, this is just one remote. This remote is kind of more advanced. There is another remote that more of these come with, and it's just this one. I think that this is just as good, and you should have just as much fun with this one compared to this one. But if you do want a little bit more options as far as like speed, the different options to adjust the speed, I would get this one. Now let's take this thing apart and show you all the different parts. So let's push the power button and turn this off. Now you can see here that on the remote this is an IR remote. So if you look here, this controller box has an IR sensor right here. So whatever you push on your controller, it's going through here and telling the controller box what to do. And now this wire is going right here and it's telling what all the LEDs to do. You can see that there's a red, a green, and a blue, an RGB, and then there's black. So you plug that in, and if it doesn't work the first time you plug it in, you might want to switch it like that, because the direction does matter. But the correct direction for this particular setup is just how it's set right now. So once you get that set up, and then you attach it to your stick, we're going to have to power it. So what I did is I just took a plug and I just made sure that the one I got fit in here, and I also did check the voltage and everything on this, and I made sure that it matched on the adapter that I got before I cut the wire, just to make sure. So you have the plug here that matches and fits the controller box, and then the wires from that plug are wrapped around the wires of this 9-volt battery connector that you can get on the internet or from Radio Shack. And just strip the wires and then wrap them up together tightly and then tape them up with electrical tape. And that should all be good. Just in case you're wondering, the red wire from the 9-volt battery connector should be connected to the wire that has the white line painted on the plastic covering of the wire that's attached to the plug. Once you got all that done, plug it in and then attach it to the 9-volt battery connector. And you want to make sure everything works before you tape it up permanently, or if you solder it, you would want to make sure that you make sure it works before you solder it. So once that's all done and everything's attached correctly, just push the power button and you should get your light. I would recommend just going on eBay and typing in RGB LED strip, and you'll find some that just come with this the LEDs, and then you'll find some that maybe just come with the controller box and the remote control. The remote and the controller box should come in one package, and you may find that if you want to get a power cord so you can plug this into the wall, you're going to have to buy that separately. And also the LEDs you may have to buy separately too. But if you're on eBay, you may find a deal where all this is included. The power cord isn't that big of a deal. I would just go down to a thrift store, bring along this thing, and just try to find a cord that matches that. Buy that and then cut it and then set it all up, and you'll have your own RGB strip that can change colors, and it has tons of LEDs on it. So you can make very, very cool designs with this thing. And of course, I almost forgot to mention the 8AA battery holder is available at Radio Shack, or you can just type it in Google and find it that way. It's pretty cheap.